This is a phone that bridges the Android world and the iOS world. Hey everyone, this is Mo from the Mobile Marvel, and today we're going to be unboxing the Vivo X Fold 5. Let's go! So now that we're done with the unboxing, there's some very quick things that I need to talk about. The first is, wow, absolutely amazing. This device is it's super slim. It's light as a feather, 217 grams. And the price, wow. It's probably the most cost-effective foldable there is out there today. Of course, if you're buying last generation's phone, that might work out better, but for a 2025 device, there isn't anything in this price point. So let's talk about its main features. This is just a early hands-on. I've had like 15 minutes with the phone. Took me about 5 minutes to get the language changed, the phone set up, the basics done. You can download the Google Play Store just on Vivo's app, Vivo Store, and that's it. And you're ready to go. So first things, 6,000 mAh battery, my daily driver, which is right over here with Z Fold SE, which I've been using for about 8 months now since its launch. And this one feels, it's quite a bit thinner. It's nicer in the hand. A couple of things. It's a lot more rounded, so it's a lot more comfortable for your use compared to this one, which is a lot more squared off. This is a lot more comfortable in the hand. That's mainly down to these cornered and rounded edges as opposed to Z Fold SE's very square-like dimensions. Another very interesting factor, and something that I've not seen in other phones, is this almost like a little pump action to open it up. So it just makes that opening, closing a lot smoother when compared to this, where it's tight unlock there. And yeah, so that's one of the features. Now this stunning green, just look at this, it's absolutely beautiful. In terms of its features, 6,000 mAh silicon battery, 80 watt wire charging, 45 watt wireless charging. One thing to point out is you need proprietary Vivo stuff. So in this box, there's the Vivo charger, and for the wireless, it's sold separately. I don't have one with me right now on hand, but it's a Vivo flash charger. You need that to get that 40 watt charging. You cannot put a normal Qi wireless charger and get 40 watts. You're not going to get that. So to keep the price down, what they've done is instead of using the Snapdragon Elite, they've gone with the Snapdragon Gen 3, which is last year's processor. But one of the things you got to understand is for most of us, I'd say even for me, 99% of the time, there is absolutely no difference. Is it future-proof? No. Probably 4 years down the line, you'd want something a bit faster. But for most people today, I would say there's absolutely no difference between this and the Elite in general terms. So one of the other things about this device is it's IP59 rated. What does that mean? Well, this Samsung, which was the only device in 2024 and actually to this point that had any dust protection whatsoever for a foldable. It's IP48. This one is IP59. What do we mean by 5.9? Well, 5 means on day-to-day functioning, dust will not get in on your and will not affect your day-to-day function of the phone. It's not 100% dust resistant. It will, no dust can get in to affect its performance or functions. So what do we mean by the 9? What we mean is it's even jet proof. So if you put it under the tap or in a jacuzzi and have the water spraying at it, nothing's gonna happen with it. So it's IP59 rated. And yes, the Honor Magic V5 that's coming out in a week's time, 10 days time, 5.9 rated. But one of the things is, this one's a lot more reasonable. It's a lot more budget friendly. It's not cheap, but it's a lot more budget friendly compared to the Honor that's just about to launch. One more thing is the integration with Apple. So this is a new thing that's happening in Chinese devices, and we've seen this before with the Oppo. So there's a lot more iOS integrations than you'd ever expect on Android. So what are we talking about? We're talking about file transfers. You want to move things from an iOS device onto a Vivo, or from a Vivo onto an iOS device. It's a lot easier. You want to mirror your MacBook screen, you can do that. You could do that with the Oppo as well, but you can do that here too. Another thing that the Oppo doesn't have is you can, like your Google file drive, your OneDrive, you have your Dropbox drive directly on the file system of your device. Well, guess what? Now you can have your iCloud directly onto the device. So you can have file transfer between your Mac and here can all be visible directly on this device. Another thing is it works natively, essentially natively with AirPods. So you have your spatial audio, your transparency mode, your noise cancellation, all of those features are on this Vivo with an AirPod. Finally, it has freeze protection. All our phones, like this one, it has heat protection. So when it gets too hot outside, the phone will bring its performance down or limit its performance so there's no damage to the phone. Now this has freeze protection. Once it hits minus 20 degrees, it'll have freeze protection and it'll slow down your phone. And the same thing that happens with heat will happen with the cold. That's a great thing because it ensures the longevity of your phone and your battery and your performance as well. And nothing is damaged in the process. So like any other Vivo, this has a Zeiss cameras, which are some of the best cameras out there.
It's a pretty good setup here. All three cameras are 50 megapixels. It uses the up to 20x digital zoom, 3x optical zoom. These are some of the largest sensors we have on a foldable. Also Vivos in general, and this doesn't just include the X Fold 5, but also includes other devices such as the Vivo X200 Ultra. The Zeiss lenses that they use have better coding and has more color accuracy for clarity and color.
There isn't really much of a conversation about a crease anymore, but it's practically, once again, non-existent. The Z Fold SE, that was great. The Oppo Find N5 was great, but I would say, from my early impressions, this one is probably the best that I've seen so far. Another key point here, 217 gram, 9.2 millimeters, does not get better than that. Okay, one more thing is the side button. It's just it's almost like a carbon copy from iOS. Unlike iOS, you have dual function. So you have the hold and tap for one function for the side button, and then you have a quick tap. And they both do two different things. So you want to launch your camera, you can do that. You want to do what I like to do, which is have your mute and your vibrate and your ring all in here. You have that. You want to have some third app, which is none of the above. You can do that. You want a voice recorder. You want to have a quick tap to turn on the voice recorder. You can do that. You want your notes app. You want to do that. You can do that. You want to have, you want to recognize a song like a Shazam. Press that. It recognizes a song that's playing in the background. So this is the Chinese version. We have this available today, but there is a global version coming. It's the Indian version, like with the previous Vivos. The Indian version is the first international version to come out. We're working on that one, and we hope to have that on day one. That launches on the 14th of July. So I'm going to make this phone my daily driver for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm going to come back to you in a month's time and tell you all about it. If you want to pick up phones like this, or maybe even this, or any of the other launches that are not available in your market, head on over to mobilemarvel.com and we have you covered. And stay tuned for our next video. The Honor Magic V5 is just around the corner, and we're going to have a first take probably in about 10 days time.